Hello everyone and welcome back to the new video of class 7th. This is Kavita and I'm back with another video, that is the state government. So why to waste time? Let's move quickly towards the topics. So we all know this, that our country and its government functions at various levels such as village level, state level and central level. And this is basically known as the federal form of government. Making it more clear, federal means when we have different levels of government, where one government is meant for the entire country who rules over the whole country, known as the central government or the union government. And each state has a separate government, and these states are further divided into many districts, and also these districts have their local government. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now you people must be knowing that we all have 28 states and 9 union territories. So let's have a look upon the functions of a state legislature. Now, every state government has its 3 organs. What are these? The legislature, the executive and the judiciary. And the Constitution of India defines its various powers and functions. Now, how these work? So, whenever we elect our representatives through election, they become a part of the state legislative or Vidhan Sabha. And also, it is the main body that make laws in a state. But apart from all this, there is another house of legislature called the Vidhan Parishad. So, the state which have only one legislative body is known as unicameral state, whereas the state which have both is known as bicameral state. For example, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka. These states are known as bicameral states. Means these states have both the houses, that is Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. Earlier, Jammu Kashmir was also a part of a bicameral state, but now it has been removed from it after new law. So I hope this has been clear to everyone out here. So now coming to the next topic, that is the composition and the qualification required for the state legislature. As already mentioned, the state legislative assembly has 2 parts. One is Vidhan Sabha and the second one is Vidhan Parishad. Vidhan Sabha is also known as the Legislative Assembly and Vidhan Parishad is known as the Legislative Council. In Vidhan Sabha, the members are elected by the people directly through elections. The minimum number of members of a legislative assembly should not be less than 60. And the maximum number should not be more than 500. So a member of a state legislative assembly is called an MLA, that is member of legislative assembly. And on the other hand, the members of Vidhan Parishad, that is the state legislative council, are not elected directly by the people. Here are the process of election of the members of the Vidhan Parishad, which is quite different from the elections of Vidhan Sabha. So let's have a look towards it. Here, 1/3 members are elected by the Legislative Assembly. Then again 1/3 members are elected by the members of the local bodies. Then 1/12 members are elected by the teachers who have taught in secondary schools in the state, and another 1/12 by the graduates from the universities in India who have graduated with at least 3 years standing. Then 1/6 members distinguished in the field of art, literature and science are nominated by the governor of the state. So, a member of the State Legislative Council is also known as MLC. The total number of members in a Vidhan Parishad should be 1/3 of the total number of members in the Vidhan Sabha. A Vidhan Parishad cannot have less than 40 members. So, this was all about the composition of state legislature. Now coming to the qualification part. So, these all members require certain qualifications to be or to get the membership of the state legislature. So, let's have a look. To become a member of the Legislative Assembly or the Legislative Council, a person should have the following qualifications. That is, he or she must be a citizen of India. He or she must be at least 25 years of age for getting elected to the Vidhan Sabha and 30 years for the Vidhan Parishad. He or she must be a registered voter in the state. He or she must not hold any office of profit under the government. And the last one is that he or she must not be mentally unsound or mentally unfit or have been proclaimed a criminal by the laws of the state. So these are the certain qualifications which is required to be the member of the state legislature. I hope this becomes clear to everyone out here. Now coming to the next topic, that is tenure of the state legislature, means the time duration to which a particular member or the members of the state legislature are appointed. So the Vidhan Sabha is elected for a period of 5 years. But in some conditions or sometimes the governor under such special circumstances can dissolve it before 5 years. Whereas in Vidhan Parishad, the members or the assembly can never be dissolved. Its members are elected for 6 years. Then comes the functions of the state legislature. So the most important functions of the state legislature is to make laws. So whatever laws in a country we are having, it is made by the state legislature on a state level. But in a country level, central government has this power and the Lok Sabha has the power to make laws or amend laws. But at a state level, state government or the state legislative assemblies has the power to make the laws. So also the state government takes decisions about the finances of the state and decides on the amount of money to be collected from people as taxes. The members of the state legislature also have certain electoral powers. Here, also the speaker of these legislative houses are being elected. The members of the Vidhan Sabha elect a speaker and a deputy speaker who looks after the proceedings of the assembly and also ensures that the discipline in the house is maintained. The proceedings of the Vidhan Parishad are conducted by the chairman who is elected by the member. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now switching over to the most important topic, that is how the laws are made. So whenever any new law is made or it's going to be made, it is presented before a state legislature in a form of bill. Bills may be of two types, that is ordinary bills and money bills. Here, ordinary bill can be introduced in the legislative assembly and council, and then the bill is read in the house. When the bill is discussed in detail, it is sent to the governor of the state for approval. And as soon as the governor signs the bill, it becomes a law. Whereas money bill, which relates to expenditure or taxes, can only be introduced in Vidhan Sabha and then it is sent to Vidhan Parishad. When the bill is passed by both the houses, it is again sent to the governor for his or her approval. Now, the state executive implement all those laws that are made by the state legislature. The state executive includes the CM, that is the chief minister, the governor and the council of ministers. The chief minister is the most important member of the state legislative assembly, and we all know this. He or she has many functions. The chief minister is also assisted by a council of ministers, which looks after the administration of a state. Here, different ministers have been given different departmental works known as ministries, such as Education Ministry, Petroleum Ministry, Transportation Ministries, Defense Ministries, etc. The governor is also an important part of the state executive. Every state has a governor who is appointed by a president for 5 years of term, whereas union territories are governed by the lieutenant governors. In certain circumstances, the governor has the authority to exercise his or her special powers, also known as discretionary powers. These are other important members are also a part of the state. So there are many other important members who is also an important part of the state, such as the Advocate General. Now every state has an Advocate General who is appointed by a governor of a state to perform the various legal functions or to take many important legal decisions in a state, while the state legislature and the executive make the laws. The actual day-to-day administration of a state is carried out by a huge bureaucratic body known as the civil services, and these members of civil services are being selected through IAS exams, that is Indian Administrative Exams. So this was all about the state government. I hope everything is clear to you all. Now here is a short summary of this chapter. Have a look towards it. So that's all for today's chapter. Thank you for watching.